facts. I'm so excited to be here with Sean Heisman. I'm Kathleen Light. I am with the Arts Council, and we believe beer is an art form, and when you brew it, you're an artisan. And so we're really excited to talk to Sean about his beer making process and his thoughts and how he goes into that whole thing. But first,
okay, all right.
Let's ask you, where are you from?
Oh gosh, the word peripatetic would probably describe me. I grew up in Southern Ohio, Cincinnati, got a college degree, and then moved as fast as I could to Los Angeles, where I got a master's degree. Then moved as fast as I could to New York and got a PhD, and realized I couldn't get a job with any of the degrees that I had, so I did what any guy in such a situation would do. He joined the Army and immediately disappeared in the Army for 8 years. My wife, I met her in upstate New York while she was in medical school, and so she was in Philadelphia doing her residency when I finally moved back to that area. I was basically working for the Army and acting as a contractor when my wife got a job up here. I was doing my last mission for the Army, and she's sending me pictures of her on top of Deer Mountain and her looking at the bald eagles and on the back of a sailboat with a glass of white wine, and I'm like, oh, we're moving there right now. So that's how we got here. I followed my wife for a job, and the beer thing started off as a hobby that grew wildly out of control. And there wasn't a brewery here, hadn't been one since 2001, 2002, and I thought we'd fill that niche.
But right before you got to Ketchikan, you were in the Army, so you're fresh out of the Army, like just a couple, 3 years?
Yeah, so we were, one of the things they don't tell you when you're a reservist, they say, oh, 2 weekends a month, one weekend a month, 2 weeks out of the year. And it really ends up being 2 of the first 4 years I was married, I was gone on active duty. So that really did eat up a bunch of my time, and I was a contractor for the Army at Fort Dix too, so training soldiers and implementing systems and doing fun stuff like that. So.
But you've been here in Ketchikan for
almost 3 years now.
3 years, and not in the reserves.
No,
you're
I'm
out,
done.
like
I'm
you're
done.
free.
Army can't find me anymore, guys.
You're free.
I'm
Okay.
free. Yeah.
Oh,
they
awesome.
do still text me once in a while, like, "Hey, Sergeant Heisman," and I'm like, "Yeah, lose my number. Don't. New phone. Who dis?" So.
Okay, so talk about beer. Okay,
beer.
So
Good.
What drew you to beer and creating beer,
Good.
and like what's the creative process there?
So I have a tattoo on my back that says King of the Nerds, so I tend to get passionate about things. I was a passionate musician. I was passionate about molecular biology. I was passionate about philosophy. Less passionate about the Army because it's difficult to be passionate about psychotic NCOs. When I got back from Afghanistan, I found I had a lot of energy, and I was drinking a lot more than I should have, and my wife picked up on this and like, hey, you guys are going to cost us a lot of money. How about you make your own beer? And what she neglected to take into account is that a motivated, intelligent soldier can have, instead of just 2 6-packs on hand at any one time, up to 20 gallons if he's smart. Right. So we started doing that in Philadelphia, which presents its own unique challenges, which we can talk about in some detail later, primarily having to do with the quality of the water in Philadelphia. So once you learn how to crack that basic equation, like how you get good water out of what basically smells like dirt coming out of your tap, crack that equation, you're probably good to go for water anywhere. So I got into beer as sort of a post-deployment hobby. My wife and I moved here, and I started doing it. I was homebrewing maybe 3 times a week, twice a month, which is an unheard of amount for a homebrewer. Usually I do it like once every couple months. Right. But I started, like watching Netflix, working out, and just basically brewing beer. And a buddy of mine had some of the Imperial Stout, and he's like, hey, you should start a brewery. And of course, I had had some Imperial Stout too, and I thought, oh, this is a great idea. So we started looking around, shopping for equipment. Did a lot of financial modeling to make sure we could actually make it work here. So there was probably a good 6 to 8 months of me sitting at a spreadsheet looking at a computer before we actually pulled the trigger on anything. So it was a long time planning. But yeah, that's how we got into beer, basically. Let's taste our Wild Guys. It's carbonated, it's got a nice foamy head on her. We'll give that one to you. I'll give this one to me. So what we have here is an example of our mixed fermentation. This is Berliner Weiss done the old school way. So crystal clear, nice blonde color, thick head. That comes from the, unfortunately gluten is our friend because it's gonna make that head. When we smell it, we smell sour, apricot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A little bit of bread dough. Get the bread dough?
Yeah.
Very subtle. Light, creamy,
Wow.
refreshing. Oh man, that's
Creamy.
good. Yeah,
Definitely creamy.
yeah, that's good. Oh man, I'm good. I'm so good.
Is this done? Is this finished,
Not
or
really,
still
no.
got some
Yeah,
to go?
I want it to go another week to see what'll happen. And because it's lactobacillus, cleaning it's going to be kind of a pain in the. They're tiny little bugs and they live in cracks, so the cleaning procedure I have to revamp to make sure everybody stays happy and doesn't get contaminated.
So this is very creamy, very sort of sour, a little sour, a little like sourdough bread, sort of a little bit.
That's the goal.
As it grows, or as you continue to ferment it, what will change in this taste?
It'll take on more wine-like apricot flavors. Yeah. So the other thing we can do too is just go ahead and push them here, put it in a big storage tank, like one of those big kegs over there, and just let it sit.
It'll do the same.
It'll do the same thing. Yeah, and it freezes fermenter up. But I like everybody to sort of develop together, right? So that way you don't have any fast kids or slow kids.
Right.
Everybody's like the same speed.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and try the other one. I really like this one. I gotta warn you though, we're only about halfway through the process. So this one started off life. I started this guy in
January.
where? No, 16th of March.
What's that?
So that's a batch date code. So I can track what was manufactured when. Sort of sui generis on our part. Oh man, that's a beautiful color. I'm gonna give this guy to you. And I'm gonna take this one. So this started off life as our stock bière de garde. We went through our primary fermentation process, harvested out the yeast, added some medium toast French oak staves, and brettonamaices. Now brettonamaices, so like I said before, the beer yeast is like the Holstein cow of the yeast world. You have to hand feed it basically. Brettonamaices is like a buffalo, like a goat. It'll eat anything that looks like a sugar, including, some people think, cellulose. So that
Interesting.
super interesting.
Huh.
So when we smell that, I get a little bit of the ester profile from the Bière de Garde, so that little banana fruity flavor. And I get a touch of wood.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can get it on the back end. So, oh yeah, there's just a touch of oak. Now you're gonna get a face full of oak when you taste this.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, wow.
So that's gonna take probably another 6 months for everybody to get happy. I could put this out now, but it tastes too tannic to me.
Yeah.
It tastes too woody to me. That's just gonna require time. That'll go away over
Wow,
time. So that
that's
just sits there,
beautiful.
right? So even now I'm getting that vinous characteristic of like a deep Zinfandel or a jammier cab. So yeah, I started off life as a wine drinker, and then I moved to Scotch, and then
I really want to thank you for taking the time to describe all this beautiful, your alchemy and your philosophy, and thank you for coming to Ketchikan.
Oh, sure. You can blame my
Cheers,
wife.
man.
Yeah. Enjoy.
That's
That's so
glorious.
good. That's
Yeah,
so good.
that's a really good beer.
Really good.
Awesome.